Okay. Okay, we've got Saleem from Vera Drywall here. I've been working with Saleem for about 8 weeks now, but I haven't actually seen him in the last 3 weeks. I don't know where he's been, but he says he's been busy and hasn't been able to make it to our calls. So let's see what he's been up to. Saleem, can you tell us a little bit about your company?
Yes, so I own Vera Drywall. Um, we do insulation, spray foam, drywall, modern tape. And yes, Doug is right. Before I started my mentorship with him, I had the time to seek out mentorship. I had the time to schedule once a week to spend that hour with him. But when after I would say after our first 2 weeks or maybe our first 3 weeks, when I started to apply the information that you gave to me, I realized no, I didn't have the time to meet with you for the next meeting because yeah, I was just too busy. I was busy giving estimates. I was busy, driving around to meet people that was reaching out to me. So yeah, that's really what it's been.
That's good to hear. So it's been valuable so far, and we're only
so far
really part way through.
Yeah. So far it's been
only a third of the way through.
Yeah.
Okay. So your big goal when you first came in was to stop subcontracting from the union all the time, and you wanted to start doing more of your own projects direct for contractors and homeowners. So how's that going so far?
Well, I believe in the proof is in the pudding, right? If you look back at my my post that I've been putting on my social media, we aren't just saying that I've been busy since I've met you. There is proof, like I still have videos that is getting edited right now that hasn't been up as yet, and the footages continue to back up. Yes, that is my intent, to walk away from the union, work and work for my own company, and have better time management with my family. And what I do realize is, as you taught me, and I'm really seeing it now, when you says 9 to 5 pays the bill and 6 to 10 builds the empire. Like it's almost like it's so true. People always say the early bird catches the worm, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. But these things, since I've met you, to me, have been proven to be false, because there's no early to bed will make you wealthy. There's at least in the beginning. So I have been having a family. I have been really doing the 6 to 10s, sometimes 11s. You know what I mean? And I am more busy now, but I can see that I am going to have time to give back to my family. So that's where I am.
Yeah, that's good. You gotta grind it out for a bit before you reap those rewards, right?
Yeah.
When you're making a name for yourself, you really just got to go all in and do the best that you can, and it will reward you eventually. Okay, that's good. That's really good. What else here? So we haven't really got to work on a whole ton yet. Like we have, but we haven't. Like I said, we're only a third of the way through. But I think one of the big things that we worked on was your estimating and pricing strategy. And when you first came to me, your estimating strategy was not fantastic, to say the least, right? You aren't.
It was poor. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I was losing money, and there were times that I actually overcharged, to be honest, and it was horrible. But that the strategy that you gave me, Doug, it's life changing. You know what I mean? I think it's one of the, again, I don't know what you have in store for the rest of the mentorship, but to this point, that has made me be able to sleep at night, because when you give someone an estimate and you don't hear from them, you can't sleep, because you don't know the next person that you give an estimate if you charging too much, or if you got the job, if you working for nothing.
Yeah.
And you can think, when you receive payment, you can think, well, okay, I have some money in the bank there, but you do not see the turnaround, you do not see the expenses, you don't see the extra material that you had to run back and buy if you were short, because there wasn't any contingencies there, and all these things you have. And I don't want to give too much, because I know you're going to give people. I mean, people got to pay for this, right? But it's life changing. I literally go to sleep when I send an estimate off. I smile. I go to bed, and I know, you know what? When I get that message back, and I got the job, I know, wow, I am giving this person a good service, and they pay what they deserve to pay. And if I don't get a job, I know that they aren't willing to pay for my service, because I am fair with my prices now that I know how to calculate, how to pay the guys that work for you properly, how to make sure they're covered by WSIB, liability insurance. People have to understand that if people come to do a job in your home or your custom home, or anything happens to them, you don't want to be at fault. It should be the contractor making sure that everything is taken care of. And that comes with a price, because he's paying that. If he's paying for that headache to come off of your shoulders, he's taking care of that. So, man, I think that's one of the biggest things. I mean, I thank you all over social media every time. That's the biggest thing that you've done for me in this mentorship, is me understanding how to price a job and be fair.
Yeah, because now you're confident in your numbers, where before you just you threw something together and you throw that price out. You didn't really know if it was high or if it was low, and then they would come back to you and say, oh, well, you're high. So then you drop your price and just base it off of what they were telling you. And, then you go ahead and do the job, and you realize, shit, it actually cost me money to do that job. I didn't make any money. It cost me money to do that job. It was a waste of time.
Exactly.
So I'm glad you have the confidence now to be able to go and price those jobs. So tell me, what happens if you go and price a job and somebody calls you back and they say that you're too high now?
Well, again, not to give away, I have a markup that we have established, and I know now I can ask someone, okay, listen, if you believe that is too high, what is your budget? And if that budget is way below my markup, to cover my expenses and everything, if it's below that, then I'm sorry, I'm not the contractor for them. But if there is some room for me to adjust with my markup, business is about giving and taking as well, right? So if there is room, I would adjust, but now I know where I can adjust. Before, I would adjust, and then I would scratch my head to the end like, wow, I lost. I didn't make anything on this job.
So now like the minimum that you can charge. Or you have to walk away, right? You can't go below that, or you have to walk away. Otherwise, it's not worth doing it.
Exactly.
That's incredible. Okay, so what about time management? You're kind of struggling to know what to focus on and which direction to go in when you first came to me. How are you feeling now with your time management? Like, do you know what you should be working on, and what things are generating money rather than just doing things that aren't making you any money? Are you working on things that just make you money?
Since we met, I am more busy than I was, but the difference is I'm busy for myself. So time management hasn't really changed, but it feels good to know. Before I was working for the union, I didn't have time for myself. Now I don't have time for myself either. But I go to work every day. I work my ass off. I come home, I grab the kids. There's dinner, there's go to bed, go back to work, right? It's the same thing now, but now it's for myself. You know what I mean? All these, working after work is for me. So it feels, that time management feels good, because I can see I can already see where in the next few months, depending on the economy and interest rates, and if people starts getting more access to money and starts doing more projects, I can see where I would be able to have more time for myself and my family. But right now, I'm in go mode with the things that you gave me to use in my everyday, routines. I'm in go mode.
Yeah. So it sounds to me like you have gained some time management skills, because instead of, playing video games and sitting around after work, now you're building the empire, right?
Yeah.
You need to work on to put these steps in to build your business. So that's great. That's really good. Okay, that's awesome. So do you feel super focused on your goals now and where you want to be and like the direction to get there? Like I said, I know we've only made it through a third of the program, but like, are you feeling pretty confident you can get to where you need to go?
Yeah. I am pretty confident. It's funny because I'm actually thinking, wow, we only almost, a third of the way, and it's like, I don't know what you have in store for me next. And now I'm asking myself, wow, with whatever I learn to propel me in a forward direction, would I even go back to because I was planning on running my business, 50-50 until I can walk away. And now it seems like I haven't been back in the union for almost 3 weeks or a month, with my own jobs. So I mean, and the post is going up on social media. I'm posting up jobs, jobs that I've completed, jobs that I've started, job that I'm estimating. So, but I'm really focused, and everything seems to be working well.
It's good, man. So the ball's rolling, and hopefully, like, you've already started to hit your goal. So let's hope that.
One thing I would say, one of the formulas that you gave me, I actually we did this. I went back and looked at some of the jobs that I've done in the past, and I can see where a lot of jobs that I actually was below what I should charge. I lost money in all these areas because I didn't price it right. I didn't understand. I didn't have a formula, and when I go back and I look at it now, I can see, oh, wow, I did lose money here, So, so I mean, I believe the jobs that I've gotten so far since we met, and I'm not going to discuss what I pay, but it has already paid for itself. One, it paid for itself, literally, it paid for itself. And the other part where I say it paid for itself is I'm not losing money anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not losing money anymore. And if I advise, any drywall contractor who wants to grow and you're not sure, you might think you're not losing, because I thought like that. But I would advise anyone, if to try it and prove their system right or wrong, you know what I mean? Because it's very effective.
Yeah, because now, just because you made $5,000, that doesn't mean you made any money.
Yeah.
Just because $5,000 came in, that doesn't mean you actually put that in your pocket or put that into your business. That might have eaten up in extra materials and taxes and insurances and things like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, man. Well, we'll have to check in again once you're actually done the program, if we can ever get you through it. So
that's my plan. My goal is to be too busy for you. My goal is to be too busy.
That's good. That's a good problem to have.